Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to Talkin' Beavers from Reser Stadium. It's great to be with you on this gorgeous day in the Mid-Valley. We have a very busy show coming up on this spring edition. I had a chance to sit down with Oregon State right-handed great Andrew Moore. Wayne Tinkle and GP2 talk Oregon State hoops, and a big announcement with regard to the Oregon State basketball program. But Slade Norris, former Beaver great, former NFL draft pick. Slade, we're not in Reser Stadium for nothing. We've got some football coming up.
We do. You know what? The NFL draft. 5 players drafted this year, the most really since my class in '09. I'm going to go through and tell you guys what I think of each player's fit with their team and how well they're going to do in that team.
We look forward to that, Slade, and really a great draft day for the Beavers. But the show is also about Beaver football going forward in 2015 in the Gary Anderson era. To that end, I had a chance to talk to one of the key players, a receiver, getting healthy and getting ready for a big year, Richard Mullaney. Well, Richard, the last time I saw you wasn't here on Prothro Field. It was inside of Reser Stadium in the spring game. You scored a touchdown. That was a great sight to see, and I was calling it on radio, but didn't know what to do next when I saw you hit the ground. I mean, what was going on there?
Well, you know, before the spring game started, Coach Anderson said just have fun with it. And honestly, it just came right to my head. I was like, when I score a touchdown, I don't know, honestly, I just threw the ball in the air and just got on the ground. Just thought it'd be funny to make a snow angel.
So you're telling me that wasn't premeditated. It's just spur of the moment, snow angel time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, I believe you because I'd never seen anything like that before. But it seemed, Richard, to be part of some real new excitement and enthusiasm. And the fun for you, I imagine, is just being on the field, healthy, making plays, right?
Absolutely. It's been a while since I've been out there, so it's always nice to be on the field with my teammates.
Whenever you've been on the field and healthy, you are ultra productive as a receiver and a go-to guy. But you've had, you know, an elbow, a shoulder thing, some things that have happened. Right now, as we walk and talk here at Prothro, getting ready for fall camp here in a couple of months, what are your thoughts about just where you are heading into your senior year, physically, mentally, all of that?
I feel really good. Right now, it's just, like you said, it's just staying healthy. That's all I'm worried about right now, you know. Getting my strength up and then doing everything I can just to stay on the field.
Sean Mannion wraps up a great career. You were a big part of his success here as a go-to guy. First of all, how proud and happy are you for Sean and the opportunity he's getting?
So happy. I mean, you know, he's been out here a couple times this past week, and we threw, and, you know, just talking to him and, you know, seeing him smile and talk about, you know, his next step, it's awesome.
But there's a next step for you in a new era. So far, in these early days of a different look at Oregon State, spread, no huddle, up-tempo, zone read. For you as a receiver in that group, how excited are you about what's ahead for you as a receiver in this system?
Very excited because I feel like, you know, we have so much talent at receiver, and, you know, I feel the ball will get spread around a lot, and, you know, the opportunity to make plays and, you know, a bunch of catches and win games, I feel like it's out there, so I'm very excited for that.
In terms of the craft itself and learning the offense, how different is it for you as a receiver? How much of a learning curve is there?
Honestly, I mean, being a veteran and stuff, it hasn't been too hard. The only thing that's been hard is just the tempo. Just, you know, after one play, running back, looking at the sideline, getting the play, and then going. So just the tempo has been the biggest part.
Richard Mullaney gave so much to our offense in the previous years. He's excited to have an injury-free season this next year. Moving on to the defense with the Les Schwab quick fix. The Beavers' rush defense really struggled last season. 9th in the Pac-12, 158.2 yards per game, something we didn't like. Jalen Grimble has something to say about that. Mike Parker is sitting down with him today. They're going to discuss what happened last year, how they're going to move on to this next season with a new coaching staff.
I can tell that from the last time we saw you going through an injury-riddled season last year, you're in great shape. Tell us a little bit of how, I mean, you've dropped some weight. Tell us about that whole process.
It was more of a self-discipline thing. You know, being honest with myself and my father being honest with me. And, you know, we look back and we watched the last game, and I kind of realized I put on a lot of pounds from the injury and a lot of pounds in the wrong place. And I took it upon myself, and when the season was over, to get my mind right. And, you know, looking back, it's 30 pounds to go, and I feel great.
Congratulations on that. And the new strength and conditioning coach that I've been hearing raves about, Evan Simon, how has he helped you?
He's been on me, you know, and Stacy, she's hired as our full-time nutritionist now, and she's always on me. They're on me. They make sure I come in, I work out twice a day. You know, I eat the right things when I'm supposed to, and, you know, short meals. The biggest thing with losing the weight was changing what I eat, my diet, and how I eat it, and honestly when throughout the day. It all matters, and you know, they stayed on top of me, and it's really helped.
All of that said, Jalen, let's just say and believe the best for a great talent such as Kyle Pecco, for Joshua James returning, yourself in the best shape of your life. I mean, what can you guys be up front in particular if all of that comes together?
You know, the sky's the limit. You know, with the staff that we have, the coaches we have, and the talent we have, this team as a whole should be light years better than what we've been performing. And I preach that all the time. Last year's team, we should have been so much better than what we finished, which was, I believe, 5-7,
yeah.
Which is disappointing. It's hurting to say. And, you know, you just got to put that in the bag. But like I said, this defense this year can be great. In
the big picture, the new era, the new coach, Coach Anderson and his staff, what is your sense of energy, excitement, expectation for what's ahead?
You know, the biggest thing is we preach winning a championship, and a lot of people say, well, you know, that's a far goal to reach for, or you know, you're doing a little too much, and it's not. Because how are you expected to win the championship? How are you expected to do well when you don't have it instilled in your mind? And with the new wave of coaches and the new energy they brought, it's more of a mindset that we have now. It's not something that we just preach. We actually live it in the weight room, on the field, in meetings, and we just got to keep that up. I mean, it's really inspiring. It's part of the reason why I did what I did for myself is because of my teammates. They pushed me to be the best I can be, and even Kyle Pecco, he challenged me. He told me, you know, last season, I don't think you were the best you can be, and he was right. And I took his criticism, and I changed.
Up next, we move to Oregon State baseball.
A few weeks away from the amateur draft. Have you given that much thought?
Yeah, that's kind of a complex situation because, you know, obviously you don't want to think about it, and all my attention is here on, you know, this club, but you know, we do realize that my dream is to play Major League Baseball.
Welcome back to Talkin Beavers. I'm Slade Norris. I'm here at Goss Stadium today on a beautiful day in Corvallis. Oregon State's baseball team has done great recently, stringing together win after win. If they continue on this projection, they have a great shot to host a regional here in Corvallis. Looking at the State TV and Appliance scouting report, we can see Oregon State has really shot up in the standings recently. A huge part of this fact is due to the play of Andrew Moore, recently named to the District 8 All-Academic team. Mike Parker had the chance today to sit down with the junior right-hander out of North Eugene and tell you a little bit about why he's had the success this year.
Andrew, before we talk about your season and the team heading down the stretch, what about pitching, competing, playing in this beautiful ballpark, the new banners, Jacoby Ellsbury locker room right underneath that? For you, coming here out of North Eugene High School, what has it all been like to play your career out in this ballpark?
Yeah, definitely, especially growing up, going to games here, you know, watching Beaver baseball from Eugene. You know, we were all huge fans, so coming to games here and seeing the development of the park has been huge. And now, you know, walking into a locker room every day with Jacoby Ellsbury's face right there, where, you know, he's donated a lot of his hard-earned money to us, and you know, that just shows how much confidence he has in the program, how much it meant to him, and you know, it's just an honor to be able to, you know, show up every day in a beautiful clubhouse like that. And you know, obviously the stadium is beautiful, but I think it's the people inside of it that make it what it is. The fans, you know, all the coaches, all the alumni, everyone who's contributed. I think that's what really makes it special for us.
You have had tremendous success wherever you've pitched, but particularly here at home. So is it that atmosphere and the Beaver Nation all on top of you and engaged on every pitch? Do you really derive some energy from that?
Totally, especially now with Friday nights. You know, there's just, you know, great energy in the park that you can feel, and like you said, as we feed off it as players, where, you know, we get a big, you know, 2-out double and then score them or something, or a big strikeout, and you can just feel the crowd, you know, just backing you, and just the energy they bring really, you know, gets us going. And you know, that's something that is very unique to this place where I've played in, you know, every Pac-12 park now, and you know, I can't say I've felt that anywhere else. So you know, this is something pretty unique to this stadium.
Andrew, you mentioned Friday nights. You've become the Friday night guy. You've pitched your way into that. Give us a sense of this season where you become the Friday night guy, because there's just it's part of replacing so many great players, position players, pitchers from a year ago. In your view, how has this season taken shape?
You know, it's something where, you know, there's so many unknowns coming in where, you know, we had, you know, a lot of guys leave, and then we had some guys in the fall who didn't produce like they should have, and you know, now we've had some injuries with Jake Thompson, Trevor Morrison, Max Engelbrecht going down early. So, you know, it's been a lot of fun seeing the young guys and even guys like Dane Lund step in and, you know, give us some huge innings, some huge bats, and, you know, they've just, you know, brought the energy that we need to, you know, really pick up this team, because we had a little blip there in the middle of the season, and I feel like now we're, you know, starting to come off that and, you know, starting to play our best baseball right now.
You are a tremendous student of the game of baseball and the craft of pitching. Tell us a little bit what has developed for you over the years here.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that goes back to even in my high school years, trying to break down film of even my bullpens, where, you know, my coach Corey Nicholson would have me videotape my bullpens and appearances and try and break them down a little bit. And, you know, coming in here with Coach Yeski has just been a blessing, where he's, you know, the best pitching coach in the country, and, you know, working with mechanics and film and pitch sequences, it's been, you know, just the best thing for my baseball career.
Andrew, I don't even want to, I hesitate to put you on the spot on this next question, because we're a month away or so, a few weeks away from the amateur draft. Have you given that much thought? Are you just trying to play out a season? Do you have a feel for what you hope might happen? Where are you in that whole thinking process now?
Yeah, that's kind of a complex situation, because, you know, obviously you don't want to think about it, and all my attention is here on, you know, this club and, you know, getting a good push at the end of the year and finishing as far as we can. But, you know, we do realize that, you know, my dream is to play Major League Baseball, but, so you have to put some thought into it, but can't put too much. So, you know, I've been talking to some scouts and everything, but just, you know, trying to, you know, take it in little bits right now, where, like you said, we're still a month away, so it's no, you know, rush on our part. But, you know, we haven't hired an advisor or anything, and we haven't really talked as a family yet. So that's a discussion we'll have to have as a family, and just kind of break down what we think will be best for, you know, all of us. And, you know, I see it as a win-win, where if I get to come back and play with this team next year, it's going to be a real dangerous club, and another year under Coach Yeski would be awesome. But, you know, if a good organization comes with a good offer, you know, who knows what can happen. So just trying to finish out the year, and whatever happens, then happens.
Coming up next on Talking Beavers, we have Mike sitting down with Wayne Tinkle and GP2 talking a little basketball. Welcome back to Talking Beavers. I'm Slade Norris. Oregon State men's basketball team had a great season last year, a lot better than most expected. With an overall 17-14 record, Coach Wayne Tinkle's first season was a definite success. Mike Park had a chance to sit down with Coach Tinkle and Gary Payton too, discuss last season and what to expect in the next in our Flat Tail Brewing interview.
For you, Gary, coming off a tremendous year, the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, a great year for the team and program, maybe in some ways unexpected success, but for you and your own game, just tell me some of the things you're working on that you hope to be even better at in your senior year.
It's just a big, you know, little things, you know, ball handling, shooting, getting my shots up, and things Coach said, you know, being a leader, being more vocal, and being more of a show leader in practice, you know, give everything I got, you know, go 100% in practice as well as the game, and just stay on top of my teammates and just raise them to a higher level.
Coach Tinkle, is that the right answer?
Right on. He was listening. No, he's exactly right. You know, and it's odd to kind of put that kind of pressure or unusual on a transfer, you know, but as we all saw, I think he quickly accepted that role.
For you right now, what are the priorities for you and your staff as you gear up for year two?
Well, Gary touched on it. We can't be satisfied. You know, we did some neat things, but what needs to motivate us, and I know some of the guys won't see it this way, but was our finish. And you can throw all sorts of reasons why, you know, our limited numbers or whatever, but we need to let that be our motivating factor, not the 17 wins. Let's strive to get better. Then we bring in all those kids that are going to be dripping behind the ears, and then quickly baptize them into the way we do things this summer with the summer workouts and that sort of thing. We feel like next fall we'll be that much further ahead of the pace.
Based on what you guys were able to do in year one of the new era, setting a foundation with what you did last year, but going to new heights and bringing in all of the talent we've been reading and hearing about, how excited are you to be part of that?
I'm very excited. You know, we got a lot of young kids and very talented young kids coming in, and I know they're excited just to continue what we're doing here at Gill, and it's just unbelievable what we're doing, and we, like Coach said, we can't be satisfied. We got to keep working and keep pushing. You
did say, you know, when the whole question of the draft and whether to return or not, you did say, I want to go dancing. You kind of, you know, you put out the idea, hey, I took a look at it, but I want to dance here. right? I mean, that's a big motivation to come back.
Yeah, you know, it just sets the bar even higher now, and you know, we got to come back, stay hungry, stay motivated, and like you said, I want to go dancing.
Now, Coach, that, you know, because of what you did last year, there's that sense of, well, look what he did here with this, and now with the great talent coming in and all. What are your thoughts? You want guys to have that kind of vision to do what Gary's talking about, but at the same time, stay level-headed, stay in the process?
No, you're certainly right. I mean, it's great that here we are less than a year, you know, into our program, and those are all of a sudden the expectation.
One of the things you talked about, Coach, from day one in getting here was that sense of an event in Portland, and it's going to happen now with the Far West Classic invite in 2 games for the great Portland Beaver Nation. Tell us a little bit the importance of that, how excited you are to see that come together.
We knew it was going to be a challenge, especially when you talk about these tournaments. They're scheduled 3 and 4 years out ahead of time. So we're thrilled that we were able to come together with the University of Portland, Moda Center, the Blazers, the community support up there, and put together a field I think is going to have some great basketball for a couple of nights, you know, right before Christmas.
2 very good teams you'll be playing, and that's great. And you grew up watching that thing. But the Far West Classic has a great tradition with Oregon State.
It certainly does, and that's what we wanted to connect to, that tradition. And we're thrilled to be able to go up there to play in an unbelievable facility, have some great competition, and who knows what it grows to, but we certainly want to make it an annual event, and I think it could bring a lot more excitement and enthusiasm into our program.
Next up, the best sport, football. We're going to discuss the Beavers and the NFL draft and also the quarterback situation for next year.
Welcome back to Talkin' Beavers from beautiful Reser Stadium. Slade Norris, you were a 4th-round pick in the NFL draft back in the day in 2009. One of 7 Beavers taken that year, 5 Beavers taken in this year's draft. I want to work our way back through each draft pick a little bit. Let's start first with Ryan Murphy. Your thoughts about Ryan and the shot that he might have with the Seahawks?
What I love is he went to a great team. He has great leadership to learn from with that team. Their DBs are fantastic. He'll have to make the team as a special teams player. That's what I did as a 4th-round pick. If you are in those lower rounds, you have to make an impact however you can. You're not going to break into the starting lineup right away. So special teams is going to be huge for Ryan going forward. And I think he has a shot if he can go through and show some stuff in the preseason.
You know, Kansas City obviously had its eye on the Oregon State program. They took Stephen Ballhawk Nelson. We're going to miss him here as a corner. They took him in the 3rd round. What about Stephen and what he showed you here and his shot at making it as a prototypical corner at that level?
Stephen, I mean, as his old name said, Ballhawk, I mean, he just knows where the ball is going to be. And playing over with Kansas City, I think they'll use him a lot, maybe as a slot nickelback defender right there, because that's so important with how the NFL is progressing into this passing game with all these prolific quarterbacks. Having a guy that you can line up in a slot protection system and go through and man-to-man that guy is so vital. And so I think that's how they're going to use him going forward.
I think a guy that, you know, we're all excited and thrilled for the next step. Quarterback Sean Mannion, Pac-12 record setter, Oregon State record holder, taken in the 3rd round and pointedly so. The Rams traded up, in a sense, to be in a position to get Sean. What are your thoughts about that as a landing spot for Sean Mannion?
To be honest, I love it. I think St. Louis is an up-and-coming team. You know, I can't picture a better situation for him because there's really no pressure to play now. So he can sit back and take his time learning the whole new playbook, and I think he's going to develop into a great quarterback.
And he will learn. He's a student. I mean, he's a gym rat, as Mike Riley used to call him. He's a student. So we wish Sean and all of these draft picks well. Mentioning Mike Riley and Sean, it brings us to the fact that Mike isn't here anymore. It's a new era. It's a new offense. It's perhaps the Seth Collins, but at least a zone read, no huddle, quick tempo approach. That ends an era at Oregon State. What are your thoughts coming out of the spring game, heading into the fall, about the new era slate at the quarterback position?
Like everybody else, I'm excited. I mean, it's different. So you watch the spring game, your quarterback's out there doing flips over defenders, something we don't see a lot here.
Right.
But, I mean, he did a great job. 208 yards passing. I think he had 81 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He's an impressive kid. What I hope that Seth can go through and learn that to where his feet are a huge advantage, but it's not his first go-to. We want the ball going through the air, and if he can do that, I think he's going to develop into a great player for us.
You know, Seth Collins was our spring game Wilson Motors game ball recipient for his outstanding performance in that spring game, and He'll be coached by, as the offensive coordinator, Dave Baldwin. And on the draft, the third quarterback taken after the first two, the third quarterback taken was Dave Baldwin's Garrett Grayson out of Colorado State, which tells me that even in this new system and the new era, there's NFL guys that will be developed here.
It's great that seeing that you have great leadership here. They've put guys to the NFL, and obviously we're going to bring in great coaches. So it's a comfort for Seth knowing that he can look up and he has somebody that's going to lead him to a lot of success.
That wraps up this edition, but we have another one to come, another spring edition in June where we'll have the latest, whether it's football, basketball, whatever. We thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you again in June on another edition of Talkin' Beavers. So long, everybody.